Welcome back to Legally TT if you are returning, and welcome if you are new here. Today we are going to be working and chatting. Um, I decided that I wanted to take you guys along on my journey of fertility. Um, it's been a very long journey. It's a very difficult journey, but I wanted to share this journey with you all in hopes to be of help to at least one person out there that may be dealing with the same thing that I am dealing with, or even something similar, or just a fertility journey as a whole. So while I color this unit, I'm going to add some highlights. We are going to be chit-chatting. Hopefully that'll keep me from being emotional during it all. So this will be our Walk With Me Wednesday, where I will share with you my journey and what's going on in my journey. And we will just have some chit-chats. Give me a second. I gotta fix this towel under my unit. I don't want to get no dye on my carpet. So let's talk about the hair first, what I'm going to be doing. That way you know if you want to know. And then we will go more into depth. And you can walk with me today. So this is a unit I have made on the sewing machine. She is a deep wave texture. I believe I'm sure she's 20 inches. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I brushed her out. That's why she looks really poofy. I didn't section off the back. Not a big deal. I did section off the front because I want those highlights to lay differently. So we are going to start in the back. I did use L'Oreal high colors because I typically do not like to bleach my curly pattern. Any hair that has a curl pattern, like a deep wave or curly, I try not to bleach them because it loosens up the curl. So that's why I am just going to use L'Oreal high color to color this unit. I chose copper and sizzling copper. One looked a little lighter than the other, so that's why I chose them, just to give a little variant of color within the unit. So I will show you guys how I'm going to add the color. We're just going to have fun with color. I have already mixed up my color, so they are sitting here. One of them is really soupy, so that's going to be a struggle. And then one is super thick. Both, mind you, are L'Oreal high colors for dark hair. Right now I have 2 tubes of each mixed up in my bowl, and hopefully that gets us through the whole head since it's just highlights. If not, I do have 2 more of the regular copper that I can mix up. So first I'm just going to section off. Ooh, let me turn my work phone off. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm actually on call today. So that is why my phone goes off. If I seem a little distracted or I look down, it's because I'm probably looking at my phone, trying to see, what's going on. But I'm gonna try. Hopefully they won't bother me too much today. So what we're going to do here is really just weave in and out because we really want big chunks. We don't want anything too small. We want kind of big chunks of color. I really could just kind of pull chunks out. I'm going to do 2 chunks here in the back and leave that there. I'm just going to pick a color, any color, and get to going. So that's what I'm just going to do throughout the hair. with this one color, oh, we got to be careful. It is loose. So that's why I'm really trying to start at the bottom and get the bottoms kind of saturated and then move up. Because I don't mind if the bottoms lift a little more than the top. But make sure your hair is saturated. I should have put this, see, I'm dropping it. I'm glad I moved that towel. We don't want copper dye on my gray carpet. Because they're both copper colors, I'm not worried, you know, really about them. I am making sure I'm kind of rubbing them through the ends. So my journey, let's get started. I am married. My husband and I have been married for 6 years. It will be 7 years in November. And we've pretty much been trying, even if it was not trying, as my gyno called it in the beginning. And you know, that's just what it was. I was on birth control for 5 to 8 years. I don't know how many years, so that's why it's such a crazy range. I don't remember. And I came off a little bit before my husband and I got married. And you know, that was that. I previously had issues with my hormones, was the reason why I went on birth control, because my cycles were very irregular and it was just a struggle. I would have long cycles, I would have no cycles. It was just all over the place. So that is why I was originally on birth control in the first place. So I came off also because I just didn't want to put that stuff in my body any longer. And I knew at some point I wanted to have children with who I was with, that of course is now my husband. So I came off. Wasn't really worried about it the first couple years because we really wanted to solidify our marriage and really just get to know each other and bond and grow with each other before we decided to have children. We wanted to get our careers together and just be stable. Fast forward, maybe 3 years go by, and I don't even think it was 3 years. It was probably about 2, and it was like, hey, you know, we haven't gotten pregnant. We probably should look into some things. So my gynecologist said, okay, we need you to actually try before we can refer you to a specialist, of course, a fertility doctor. And I said, okay, no problem. I started taking my temps, so basal body temp. Got up every morning, 7 o'clock, didn't move, took my temperature to see when I was ovulating. Not too long after, I started to use OPKs to check my ovulation. And to me, I was ovulating. So I thought. Fast forward, we finally got to go to a fertility specialist. And originally the specialist said, hey, there's nothing wrong. It's unexplained infertility, which was really hard for me to accept. It was hard to accept that there was nothing wrong. Like, how can you tell me there's nothing wrong, but yet, you know, we haven't gotten pregnant? There's got to be more to it. So I should be wiping off my hands, but it's not that big a deal. I'll grab a towel. Where'd I put this towel? Put this right. Bear with me. I don't want to drop it in the dye. All right. All right, there we go. So we, you know, kind of put everything on halt as far as that was concerned. We were still trying to kind of get ourselves situated, figure out what we wanted to do with our careers and our living situation, all that good stuff. We were just trying to figure things out. We knew we wanted to buy a house, and, you know, so we were just trying to grow up. In that process, I had went back and forth with starting fertility treatment probably a good 3 times. So we would go, we would take the initial blood tests, and we would start, you know, all the process. And once they got to the point where it was, oh, you know, this is what this is your treatment plan. You would do IUI first for, I believe, 3 rounds. And then you would do IVF if those 3 rounds of IUI did not work. Still, we were considered unexplained infertility. And that was just tough. That was just, I just could not wrap my head around it. So fast forward, still no children. We are now married 6 years. And, you know, to me, there's got to be something wrong. You can't tell me there's nothing wrong. I started to do my research because I was still having irregular cycles. Sometimes my cycles wouldn't come for 70 days or so, 90 days, 100 and some odd days, and I just wasn't understanding it. So I decided to actually change fertility centers. And I won't name my fertility centers because you may like it, the one that I left, and, you know, you may have had some success, and, you know, who knows? So they'll just remain nameless. So we changed fertility centers recently, and they, of course, did all the blood work. I had saline sonogram. Mind you, with the previous one, I had done, what is it, HCG, HSG? Well, whatever it is, those letters are. It's to check to see if your tubes are open, which they were. And so, you know, that wasn't an issue. We had already known that. I had gotten, with my current fertility center, I had gotten a saline sonogram done. They wanted to make sure there were no abnormalities in my ovaries and stuff like that. And of course, they do all your hormone tests. And my hormone test had come back. And I had actually seen my hormone test before my initial visit. And so I started to do my research because my testosterone was very high. And so I wanted to see what typically caused that. And with all my other symptoms and the fact that we hadn't had any pregnancies at all, I knew there was pretty much more to it. I was diagnosed with PCOS in October, I believe. I was diagnosed. So I was diagnosed with PCOS. And, you know, I kind of was like, I kind of knew it before they even really said anything. However, I was not prepared for the other things that come along with PCOS that I didn't find in all my research, which is insulin intolerance. What else was it? the higher risk of being diabetic, the fact that when we are no longer attempting to have children, they would suggest that I go back on birth control, which is not something I want to do at all. I don't want to, you know, be bound to medicine for the rest of my life. So, you know, that was what it was. It took me a minute to kind of get off that roller coaster of, you know, this is what I have. This is what it is. It did, however, give us a reason, a why. And that's what we had, at least myself, that's what I had been looking for. And really, both of us had been looking for this why. Because we both were feeling there's got to be something wrong. Who, like, where is it? What is it? What is wrong? Mind you, I've been on all types of natural remedies to try and help things out. I found that pink stork gave me the closest thing to a normal cycle, which is, for me, it is about 35 days, 32 to 35 days, which is still within a normal range or regular range. So that was good to find that. I did have to, however, kind of find what worked best for me. So I went through a couple of different regimens of their fertility aid and their fertility tea, and there's one other thing that they suggest for PCOS. I found that adding that did not help. I just had to take the fertility aid and the tea. I think adding the other thing, because it is actually some of it in the fertility aid, I guess it was just too much for my system. So that was cool to, you know, figure out what worked best for me. I also invested in Mira and OvuSense to take my temperature, my core body temperature with OvuSense, and my watch my hormones with, hold on a second, I told you I'm working here. So let me get more gloves since I just took those off. So I, you know, invested in those things because, one, you can purchase them with your flexible spend or healthcare spend account. So that was good. But back to my story. So I invested in those, wanted to see, you know, what was going on with my body in a little more detail. I love both of them, to be, you know, completely honest. They give me a lot of insight of what's going on in my body. So I enjoy using both of them. So next step was to start letrozole, which would cause me to ovulate. And so we are just getting in January to start our letrozole, and I will have some videos for you guys to see. You know, come with me to my appointments. They've actually been recorded. I just have not actually posted them yet. I wanted to get this out to you guys first, get you guys some understanding. So letrozole, IUI, that is the plan. I will say this journey has been an emotional journey. It has been lots of just ups and downs, and lots of just, I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. Lord, why me? I've screamed that I don't know how many times. I feel like to the top of my lungs. And he always responds, why not you? And I say, well, why not? Why? I mean, because, you know, there's other people that can go through this. Why does it have to be me? And he continues to say, well, but still, why not you? And I sat and I thought on it for a while, and I wasn't going to share my journey until I was probably done or almost done. And then I was like, but then, you know, that I felt it kind of defeated the purpose of me even recording my journey. I wanted to be there for someone during my journey. My journey will be pretty much uncut, raw. You will see my emotion, because there is a lot of it. And, you know, that's just kind of how things are going to go. I really hope that someone, anyone, gets helped from me sharing this and really showing. One of the biggest things is I want other women to understand that this is tough. You're not alone. There are more of us out there that are also struggling with this, and also almost every day say, I want to quit. I want to give up. I don't want to do this anymore. And, you know, that's how we feel. And it's okay to feel that way. It's okay if you decide to give up, because it's all in what you can handle and what you can bear. But I am trusting and believing, no matter how this journey ends, it was all worth it. Of course, you know, my prayer is that it ends with a healthy pregnancy. But if it doesn't, my prayer is that God gives me understanding for why it didn't. And I'm okay. Like, I'll be okay regardless, because it is his will and not mine. And that is something that I had to really get into my head, that granted you want this, but is this really what God has for you? Make sure I grab both these wefts. And so, you know, let me grab a little more. I don't want it even. I don't want it normal. So it's just kind of grabbing pieces. But, you know, and that is something that you have to remember in this journey, that it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with what I want. It's what God wants for you and what God has for you. And it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, and it may not be something that you can swallow immediately. It may take some really rough days before you say, okay, God, I'm just going to let go and let you do whatever you have for me. It took me a few really rough appointments before I said, okay, you know, I can't keep allowing myself to be in this dark place for something that I can't control. And I think that's part of the issue for me, was I couldn't control it. So that's what made it so hard, because I wanted to control it. I wanted to be able to say, all right, we're getting pregnant. All right, this is going to work. All right, you know, I don't have any issues. There is no problems. You know, for a little bit of time, it was, I'm broken. And I had to get out of that mindset. It's not that I'm broken. I'm just a little more complicated than others. That's all. And that has helped, you know, me really just grasp everything that is going on. It's not that I'm broken, and neither are you. It's just that we're a little more complicated than others. And when we are through this journey, we will look back at it and we will say, it was all worth it. It was okay. It wasn't that bad. So we just have to get there. And I want to be there for you. Trying to just grab 2 lefts. So I am definitely going to be here as best I can for anyone that needs some support. I am here. Well, we are almost done with the back, ladies and gents. I always say ladies and gents because I don't know who's watching. And I don't want to leave nobody out. As you can see, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So grabbing this right where I want to grab it is a thing for me that I have to do. I have to separate it the way I want it separated. Huh? That didn't separate right, see? But, you know, it'll take time. It also depends on where you are in your spiritual journey as well. As to how easy it will be to get to that point of, okay, God, it's yours. There ain't nothing I can do about it. You go ahead and do whatever you gonna do, Lord. Because I don't have any control over it. I feel like I need to brush this out. Oh no, I had already brushed it out, so it was okay. So, takes a lot of prayer and a lot of talks with God, a lot of tears. It just takes a lot because you think about the fact that there's so many people around you that are having children. I'll tell you guys this story because, like I said, I want to be completely transparent. My younger sister, love her dearly and love her children to death. Those are my loves. She has 2 children, and her first child, I, of course, had to be fully involved. I wanted to throw everything. I wanted that, that's my baby sister. I am going to do it all. I thought I was okay and I could handle it. And I didn't realize I couldn't. So we did her gender reveal. Of course, I did her gender reveal. I even made a wig. I had a wig that had pink and purple for the pink and blue for the gender reveal. That's how in this I was. I was like, I am going to do it. It's go big or go home. And the day of the gender reveal, I was running around getting balloons and all types of stuff. Just had to get everything for it. And I was getting everything, and I was in my car, and I think my husband was home. I can't remember if he was home or if he was at work. I can't remember. It's not here nor there. And I get in my car and I fall to pieces, just absolute pieces. And in my mind, I'm like, what is wrong with you? You said you were okay. You wanted to do this. Like, what is your problem? But, still part of me was, why? Why couldn't it be this easy for me? Why, haven't I had a child? So it was a rough one. I called my husband crying, snotting all over the place in my car. I got a car full of balloons and cupcakes and all types of craziness. And I had to pull myself together. And he said, well, why did you do this if you couldn't you weren't okay with doing it. I thought I was okay. And that's the thing. We think we're okay. We think we can handle it. And we kind of, at least I know personally, I can't speak for anyone else. We kind of cover up our emotions or try and hide our emotions about everything that's going on, when the reality is it's hard for us to cope. It's hard for us to accept when, especially when close family members get pregnant and you've been trying and they, blink and they're pregnant. And I swear, when my sister got pregnant, I think like 3 or 4 other people I knew were pregnant at the same time. And I was like, really? Everybody getting pregnant? What, did I miss the bus? Like, was there a pregnancy shot that I missed? Nobody told me about. So it was rough. Oh, I just want to make sure, kind of doing the same thing. So it was rough. I was able to pull myself together and do the gender reveal. I was okay. I was all right. I had to have my breakdown moment. Mind you, I am in therapy. I need my therapist. I love her to death. I need her. So it was like, I guess I should make an appointment. It may have been too long since I've talked to her. Because I'm really just on kind of maintenance appointments. So I call when I need, and she sets me up an appointment, and we have our chit chats, and we get over whatever it is, or get through it, or talk through it, and we move forward. Therapy works. I don't care what anyone says, it works. You can feel like it doesn't, but that's on you. That's, so if you think it may work for you, I definitely would suggest trying it. My therapist is great. I love her. And now she's all virtual, so I don't have to worry about going in to an appointment. I just call and we chit chat. Need to bring this down as high. Woo, that was just up too high. Trying to get some of this excess dye off my gloves. And I bought my gloves too big. I bought extra larges and I only needed larges, but we live and we learn. So this is our last piece in the back, and we are actually on our sizzle. Since the way this falls, I'm going to take those side pieces out. Make sure we don't, because I want them to cover up that one. And we're going to do one, cover that, two. All right, so these are our last 2 pieces of that. That was the thicker one. That's how I remember which is which. Like, was it the thicker one or the thinner one? So, yeah, therapy helps. Communicating with your spouse, how you feel, and being able to have open conversation with them is great as well. Because you also want to see where their head is. You also want to see how it's making them feel. And I neglected that in the beginning, and had to kind of step back and remember it's not just me in this situation. My husband is in this as well. And I think because we're going through it and we're feeling so many different things, we forget that we're not alone in this. That our spouse has to go through this as well. And you don't know what's going through their head or how they feel. So I definitely suggest, talking to your spouse and finding out how they're feeling and what they're thinking, and, go through it together. That's going to be your biggest biggest supporter, your best support system. You know, the person that's going to be there for you to cry on their shoulder when you get a message that somebody else is pregnant, or you see it on Facebook, or whatever the case may be. You know, they'll be there when no one else is. They'll be there. And so you guys need to definitely communicate, you know, how you all are feeling. Don't judge me. I just threw dye. Luckily, I'm actually painting that wall soon. But yeah, definitely remember that you guys are going through it together. Because if not, it can be a lonely place. It can be a very lonely place. And you don't want to be alone during this at all. You want to have some support during this. I guess I should grab that piece too. What else? Let's see. The PCOS, it's a journey. Mine's not severe. I would definitely say do your research, because understand that PCOS takes many different forms. There's a lot that goes on and goes along with PCOS. And a lot that is still unknown, I believe, with PCOS. It is new. And if I haven't said it already, it is polycystic ovary syndrome. And to my knowledge, they are attempting, they don't want it to be called that, because not everyone with PCOS has cysts in their ovaries. I actually just recently started to get cysts in my ovaries. So, you know, it is something that it's new, and doctors I don't feel like they completely know everything that, you know, goes along with PCOS. So I would suggest to do your own research. I actually listened to an audio book. Can't remember the name of it offhand. I will post it. Oh, that's fine. I will post it in the description. She also has a PCOS diet book that goes along with it, because I'm all for it. Because how did that get? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. There we go. I just grabbed a little much. So I'm all for natural remedies to things. So I would definitely suggest taking a look into different things that could help you balance your hormones that are natural. Because you don't want to be bound to medicine for the rest of your life, and you don't know what this medicine does. I know metformin is something that is typically prescribed. I personally will not take it. I would say do your research. That's all I'm going to say. I just know personally I'm not going to take it if, you know, it comes down to that. So letrozole is the other medicine, one of the medicines that they will give you to help you ovulate. And so is Clomid. I'm in some Facebook groups where I've seen, you know, both given to women with PCOS. So I don't know what dictates which one they will prescribe to you. So I don't know. You'd have to ask your doctor about that. I don't have a doctor's degree in medicine, so I can't tell you why they prescribe one over the other. But personally, I don't want to take none of it. I just don't. I just don't want to take any of it. Yeah. So when it comes to this hair, as you can see, I'm just kind of placing them where I see fit here at the front. If you see me turn my brush this way, it's because I'm feathering the color at the top because I don't want a blunt line of demarcation. It absolutely drives me nuts when I see it. You know, talking to you guys makes this go by so much faster. Normally I'm like, oh my God, I gotta color hair. It takes so long. But today, it's actually okay. My poor towel gonna be nice and copper. It's okay. It's just for hair anyway. So, we will. Who's the thinner? This one. I don't want too much color at the front. I want it really more to the back, I think. But we can do some. We do want some though. I think this is gonna come out so cute. But feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I will answer what I can. You know, glad to be here for you ladies, and hopefully some men. I think men need to understand how we feel and what we're going through. You know, our clock goes to ticking and we go to running around frantic trying to have a baby. I am 33. So, you know, my clock's been ticking for a little bit. Just a little bit. My plans were to have children, you know, starting at 25. I wasn't with the person I wanted to be with at 25. So that was a no-go. Now that I am, of course, with the absolute love of my life, I love my husband. You know, I'm definitely ready to have a baby. I want a baby. I want a family. You know, and that's the thing, not just a baby. I want a family with him. And that's the thing you got to make sure you're doing it for as well. It's not just that you want a baby. You feel like your clock's ticking and you want to have a kid. You want to make sure that, you know, you're in a situation that you want to be in. That you don't just want a kid, that you want a family. I think that's important. If you don't, that's your choice. Oh, I almost put that in the wrong one. So, I mean, I would suggest figuring that out. Let's do something here. Grab my clip. So, you know, but enjoy each other while you're attempting, you know, to have a baby. I definitely suggest, if you are watching when you ovulate, ladies, please don't make it a chore for your husband or your man or your whoever. It just won't be fun. They won't like it. So I don't tell my husband when I'm ovulating. I don't. We just kind of have fun. So we still make it fun. Don't make it a chore, because then it's just no fun. And you start to feel like sex is pointless. You know, like if I ain't getting pregnant, it ain't no point in doing all this. That's how you feel. At least that's how I felt for a little bit, and had to accept, you know, it is what it is. Just have fun. So now we have fun. We don't try and schedule sex. We just kind of enjoy it. We have it when we have it. And he has no clue. So it still makes it enjoyable for him as well. We tried the time thing when the gynecologist in the beginning said we needed to do a full-on try before she referred us to the fertility center. And that wasn't fun. He didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. He didn't like it. It just wasn't fun. It was like, okay, today we have to have sex. Tomorrow we can't. The next day we have to. What happens if y'all don't like each other that one of those days? Then you just gotta figure out how to have sex, and even though you don't like each other. That ain't fun. That ain't fun at all. It's just not. So, yeah, don't make it a chore. Just have fun. Just do it when you're supposed to. Don't let him know. Still make it spontaneous. And it's funny because most of the time he still knows. You know, but it's not the way like, oh my God, we have to have sex. Like, it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. And it shouldn't be. Because if it's like that, it just is no fun. So when we are done with this, all this color, we are going to let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes. Because it says let it process for 30 minutes. Of course, it's been 30 minutes. So, you know, we don't want it to over process the hair. So we are going to not let it process too long. So what I'll do is I probably won't make another video about this wig. I will post it. Probably the same time I post this video. So what you'll have to do is you will have to go to my Instagram. This will be a unit that'll be for sale. But you will have to check out my Instagram. That is Sacred Tresses, to see how it came out. Which shouldn't be too difficult. I will actually post a link in the description box below. I want more color in the front right here. So we're gonna start right here with our color. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I do. Don't start up there, because then it's gonna be blunt. So you'll have to go on my Instagram to see how this comes out, ladies and gents. I'm sorry, I just gotta include everybody. So because this video has already been so long, there's not really much that I can cut out and fast forward. We will probably put a plastic cap on this as well, just to keep the heat in and so it'll process. And we will let her process. Yes, I wanted that right there. Yes, I wanted that color. Oh yeah, I can't see. It's a little streak in the front that I wanted to make sure I got. And this piece right here. So make sure you are following me, and make sure you like and subscribe my channel so you know when I am going to post again. Usually on Mondays and Wednesdays. Nope, Mondays and Fridays. At least Mondays. Don't quote me, because sometimes it just gets rough to edit all these videos. I have plenty of content for you all. It's a lot of work. And me sitting still is a lot of work too. So make sure you like and subscribe and turn on your notification bells. And then you'll have to go over to my Instagram and make sure you follow me there so that you can see the finished product of this unit. I'm super excited. I don't know about you, but I am. I just have literally small side to go. So I'm going to do that off camera. It's all the same. Just smearing color everywhere. And we have enough color. So we did enough. So it was two boxes of each color is what we used. So see you guys in my next one.